Okay, so this is the Woodland Fox watercolor. And what you need is a basic watercolor set. You want to make sure that you've got red, orange, and yellow, and green, and also brown. A watercolor brush, and some water, obviously, a pencil, and then I like to also have a brown colored pencil to trace around everything at the end, and then also a white crayon so that we can add texture to the fur. It will act like a resist for the water because it's wax. So what I'm going to do is we're going to use the smaller picture of the fox so that we'll have a bit of a reference as we are drawing and painting. So you want to make sure that you have an eraser on the back of your pencil, or you can use a kneaded eraser, which is my favorite. And we're going to get started. So we're going to get started down in the middle of our paper, and we're going to leave enough room for both of the ears. Just want to fix my camera here a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we're going to come down to about right here, and we're going to make the shape of the head. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So it's kind of going to look like a pizza slice. Gonna make this a little bit straighter. And we're going to come down the nose, and then the basic body shape. It's a really basic drawing. You just kind of have fun with it. And now we want to do the ears, triangles for the ears. Gonna make this a little smaller. There we go. So I don't exactly want it toward the end of the face there. There we go. Okay. So this should be your basic shape. I'm just going to fix this one, this ear. Make it a little smaller like I did the other one. Okay. All right, now we're going to draw his belly, shaped like that. Then we're going to make a shape in the middle, like this. And let's not forget his nose, which is an oval. And we need two eyes. So you can make the eyes look like anything you want. I did mine circular. And now I want to add maybe some leaves around. Since this is an autumn picture, I like to make this one a lot bigger to make it look like it's a bit more in the front. And have some twigs at the top. And some more here on the side. and on this side too. So really simple. Very simple drawing. And now we're going to get started with the illustration part of it. So we're going to put our pencil down. And first we're just going to make sure that our lines are really light. So you can erase on top of your lines and just lighten the lines up. So you just want to make sure that those lines are very light. As you can see, my lines look like they're disappearing. You also want to clean up any lines that don't belong. And then what I like to do is grab my colored pencil, and I'm now going to trace around the fox and everything else. We're going to use the colored pencil afterward too, but I like to do this before as well. And I also like to fill in the eyes with the brown colored pencil. So you can also use black. And if you want, you don't even have to use the colored pencil. I don't have it in the original supply list, but I like to flourish with it. And then I also do the nose. And I'm going to add a little bit twist to the nose here with a little bit of a highlight, like that. So I'm going to continue outlining. Rest of his body. And we're going to start with the twigs here. And then afterward, we're just going to erase one more time to get up any of the pencil that we see that is underneath the colored pencil. Okay. So now we're just going to lightly go over all of our lines and erase any of the pencil that's kind of hanging out underneath the color pencil. It's a nice, fun little drawing to do. And you can make it your own by, you can add some more texture. You can add different colors if you want. Then I'm going to do whatever you want. Okay, so now that we've done that, I just see a little bit of pencil right there. So now we want to take our white crayon, And this is where we're going to create the texture. So if you look, there are spaces that are white on his fur. That's because I used this white crayon to mark those spaces, and the watercolor didn't go in those places, and that's what we want. So now you can start to do that. I'm going to do a little more, I think, on his head that I didn't do originally. I know it's hard to see. I wonder if using a different color crayon would help. I have no idea. And now I'm going to add some over here. And on the other side. And if you want, I mean, you can even add some things to the leaves, like maybe some of the veins for the leaves. So you don't have to do this. This isn't in my original, but I just thought about doing it now. Might look kind of interesting. And let's see, anything else? I think I'm good. Okay, so now I'm going to put that down and get into the watercolor. So I like to do the leaves first for whatever reason. So I'm going to wet my brush and I'm going to get into the yellow. And I'm going to get into the leaves. Oh yeah, I like what the crayon did here. Looks really cool. So I'm going to make a golden yellow. So I'm going to add orange to the leaf as well. Maybe a little red. A little bit of orange there. Maybe down the middle. Yeah. Okay. Gonna add some green on these parts. And a little bit of yellow too. So it's kind of a yellowish green. And I'm actually going to switch brushes. This one is not as pointy. I need it to be a little pointier. Here we go. Okay. So now I'm going to add some yellow here. And I'm also going to mix it with some brown as well. So what I like to do is add yellow to the top of the shape here and then sort of at the bottom. Make it a little bit more colorful. And then in the middle, I make it a little more sort of whiter. So now I'm adding brown in the corners. And then maybe kind of along the bottom too. I blend it a little bit. I do like to add a little bit of brown around the eyes. And I may go back and add a little more. But for now, I'm going to go add some yellow to the fox's chest. Same thing, I'm going to make it a little bit more color right here at the top, and then as it goes towards the middle, not so much. Same thing, I'm going to grab my brown again. Kind of blend that in. It's almost like you're shading. See, now I'm adding sort of some fur strokes. And then we're going to get to the rest here. Well, before we do that, I like to add some brown here in the corners. So I add a little bit, and I just realized you can't see the other side here of my corner. And I'm also going to move the watercolor palette. So I like to add a little bit of brown in the corners. Now you can do the whole thing if you want. You can do the whole paper. I just sort of did it this way. But you can do something different if you like. You can add a blue sky. You can add multiple colors if you like. I was going for an illustrative look, so that's why I did this. And then I'm just going to blend it with some water. Same thing down here. To add a little more down here. You can also use a different color other than brown. Okay, now I'm going to get into the red for the fox. So I'm going to start down here at the bottom, and I'm going to do red and orange. So you're going to notice that all of a sudden you're going to see white dashes where I added the crayon. Add a little more orange here. It's also going to happen at the top of the head, because we added that too. You're really going to start to see it here. See, I made it a little bit lighter towards the middle. And now I'm going to add some red and some brown. So you're going to kind of get this reddish brown color. I'm going to add it to the ears. Now what I'm doing is I'm doing a little bit of a dry brush effect here. I didn't really do that in the other one, but what that is I take my brush and I don't use the water too much, and I just put it into my paint, and you kind of get this texture because the brush is dry. So I'm using brown for this. Some over here on the other side. I like to add some shadows underneath his face here. So I'm still using the brown. Coming down here, I'm going to wet it a little bit. I'm going to mix some red in. I'll mix some red in his belly too, why not? Okay, a little more red up here. And then some at the top of his head here. You can just have fun with it. So now I'm just kind of blending it in a little bit. And now I feel like he looks pretty good. He's not as red as my other one, but I'm okay with that. And I think I'm gonna add a little, little red to my leaves. get them a little bit brighter. Same one here. A little more vibrant. And some orange too. A little bit of orange on this one. And then I blend it just a little bit with some water in certain spots. There we go. Add a little bit of red right here. Yeah. And that is our Woodland Watercolor Fox. So I'm curious to see what you do with it. I can't wait to see it. And also, another thing that I added when I was teaching this was some salt in the background and on the fox. That wasn't called for in the beginning, I mean in the original, but we added it just for fun, but you don't have to. So, can't wait to see what you do. Also, you can wait till this dries and go back in with the brown colored pencil, and you can create some more texture with that. You can outline a little more. Mine is still a little wet, so I don't want to really do too much, but I'm gonna add some stuff there. So can't wait to see what you do.